So Nike finally released their trailer for Caitlin Clark's sneaker. They finally did.
Nike finally woke up and Caitlin Clark just lit the whole sports marketing world on fire. After months of watching Nike awkwardly fumble the bag on their biggest women's basketball asset, they finally did what they should have done from day one. Caitlin Clark just got a commercial worthy of her impact and the internet is melting down. Haters are losing it, keyboards are catching smoke, and the salt, it's thicker than the Dead Sea. This isn't just a campaign, it's a reckoning.
Heard already, I'm pretty sure you have. Nike has released a new Caitlin Clark commercial, and they made it their business to show love and show out for none other than CC. Now, we know fans has definitely been in odds with the company ever since signing Caitlin Clark. A lot of people feel as if they put Caitlin Clark on the back burner. I don't know, man. I'm a Nike fan. I know a lot of people going to disagree with me on this, but I think Nike was strategic with their growth. People could be mad about it or feel whatever way they feel about it. But one thing I can tell you is that I feel as if they were strategic.
Nike just dropped that electric Kobe-themed spot for Caitlin's new player-exclusive sneakers. And it's like they finally remembered why they signed the most magnetic athlete in the sport. The woman who packed arenas, elevated the WNBA to primetime status, and made Middle America care about women's hoops finally got an ad that meets her magnitude. And of course, the usual critics are throwing tantrums like it's a sport of its own.
Caitlin Clark and Nike are officially dropping Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever player-exclusive Kobe 5s in just a couple weeks. So this shoe was first seen being worn by Caitlin and was thought to be a colorway made just for her up until just a couple days ago, where Nike's official images of the shoes got leaked and the announcement was made saying that everyone will now have a chance to wear.
Let's break down what this commercial actually means. This wasn't a promo, it was a message. Caitlin sitting down, lacing those Kobe 5 South, her eyes transforming into that Mamba glare. It's Nike saying, this is the one. The visuals? Sharp. The editing? Cinematic. The symbolism? Loud and clear. It's the kind of energy they've reserved for legends until now. Women's basketball has been begging for this level of respect. And Caitlin just kicked the door open.
We got something for Caitlin. We got Mamba Caitlin. We got Mamba Caitlin. Where is the Mamba Caitlin? There we go. We get the Mamba logo. We have Caitlin on demon time right now. But yeah, it's good to note that they finally announced it as a Caitlin logo. Or sorry,
But right on cue, the hate brigade came crawling out of the woodwork. Why her? What about everyone else? It's too much for a second-year player. Same recycled complaints. New backdrop. Let's be real, this isn't about fairness. It's about fear. Caitlin Clark is the face of women's basketball. And now Nike has the backbone to market her like it.
Now, people felt the type of way, about Caitlin Clark getting these PE shoes. A lot of people felt as if she should have her own signature shoe, which she should. She very should. But guys, I don't think there's any player that got a Kobe PE, bro. Like, do y'all know who Kobe was in the basketball world, bro? I'm just saying, like, Kobe didn't, allow, even his family, I'm pretty sure it's not just going to give his signature shoe to just some anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, other NBA players ain't even.
And the numbers, they speak louder than any Twitter thread. Her Kobe PE sold out in 5 minutes. That's Travis Scott level demand. The $190 price tag vanished before most people could even hit buy. Within 2 hours, pairs were on eBay, flipping for $375. By day's end, stocks had them averaging $365, with some hitting $800. That's not hype, that's gravity. That's the Caitlin Clark effect in full force.
These things is some fire. I'm telling you, where there's smoke, there is fire, and these things is hitting so hard. And who got a bot? Who a shoe plug? Because I need 2 pairs. I need one for the sneaker wall, and I need one for my feet, because these things is hitting right here. No, I don't want to pay $600 on.
If you're feeling this breakdown, make sure to like, drop a comment with your take, and subscribe to Courtside Legends. This is where we get real about the W and the stars reshaping it.
So it's finally here. Caitlin Clark sneakers from Nike is finally dropping. She was signed to them last year, and the sneakers is a year late in my opinion, but nonetheless I'm excited because these sneakers is finally coming out. But what does annoy me a little bit is that this is a collaboration with Kobe. Now, Kobe, respect to Kobe, the legend, rest in peace, great basketball player. But in my opinion, Caitlin Clark is a big enough star and she's creating her own legacy. So I feel like, at least for her first sneaker, it shouldn't be a collaboration with any other player, dead or alive, in my opinion. I feel like Caitlin should have, for her first shoe, had her own original design just for her, no collab.
While the critics seethe, Nike's finally acknowledging what the data has been screaming for over a year. Caitlin Clark drove WNBA viewership to its highest level in 24 years. The league averaged 657. Zero viewers per game of the 22 games that cracked 1 million viewers. 19 featured Clark's Indiana Fever. That's not just influence, that's takeover, but the real drama. Nike took heat for slow-walking her rollout while pumping A'ja Wilson's shoe.
Your stock price since 2021, it is down nearly 60%. Your executives and the people who are making these decisions, their stock options are worthless. Meanwhile, you have the single biggest needle mover in all of American sports since Michael Jordan, and you have somehow convinced yourself that you need to slow play this. Let me show you Google Trends search traffic for 4 female basketball players. There is one who only rivals Caitlin Clark, and that is Angel Reese, and you do not have her. She is over at Reebok. I am so confused as to how you would be so invested in the WNBA for several years, and you have been doing great work to try to elevate and uplift that league and many of the athletes there. But this seems like you have convinced yourself that this needs to be an either-or conversation. And we never have an either-or conversation in the men's sports. You have like 10 signature athletes. Half of them don't deserve a signature.
The A'ja versus Caitlin saga got toxic quickly. What should have been a straightforward business discussion turned into a messy battleground. Jordan Rogers, a 15-year Nike vet, called them out for sitting on the biggest needle mover in American sports since Jordan. Then it got pettier. A'ja revealed she'd had her deal in place for 2 years but played coy. When Clark's contract dropped, passive-aggressive posts, subtweets, manufactured drama because the moment a transcendent player like Caitlin steps up, some folks just can't handle the shift.
The long-awaited, highly anticipated Caitlin Clark player exclusive, not her signature shoe. Remember, they're not creative enough to think of that. But that should be coming out in a few months as well. But the player exclusive, they're starting to give it the push. This is the rollout. We got a clothing line coming before the holidays. Let's see how many resources Nike puts behind Caitlin Clark now that we're going to start getting some of her merchandise coming out, and fans are indeed.
Now, Nike is done playing scared. That Kobe commercial wasn't just a marketing win, it was a culture shift. Clark's not being positioned as a co-star anymore. She's the main event. Her signature shoe drops later this year, and it's about to break every record in women's sports marketing. Her $28 million, 8-year deal, already looking like the steal of the century. It's also the most lucrative endorsement ever for a woman in basketball, and a giant signal to the market that women's sports aren't a side dish anymore.
You finally put her in a Super Bowl campaign with 9 other women, and all respect to them, but none of them are moving the needle quite like she is. Your tagline in that was, "You can't win, so win." One of the best explanations I can come up with is that you are wringing your hands and afraid to enter into this politically divisive conversation that has been co-opted by the media and pundits who are race baiting and doing all kinds of ridiculous things around women's basketball. You can't win, so win. You have the unicorn, the chosen one, the one who everyone wants to hear from, and you were just sitting around Gatorade, State Farm, Game Bridge, Wilson Basketball, have all figured out how to have a point of view with Caitlin Clark. Please, for the love of God, figure something.
Look at the resale market. When Caitlin's PEs hit $800 on stocks and averaged $365, almost double retail. That's superstar status. Only 13,000 pairs were made and they vanished. The demand isn't casual, it's ravenous. Before Caitlin arrived, the W hadn't seen a 7-figure TV audience in 16 years. Now it's routine. Clark's games average 1.09 million viewers. Non-Clark games sit at 414,000. Attendance. Her games draw 15,591 fans versus 7,645 when she's not playing, a 105% increase. Road games spike 87% when she's in town. She's played just a fraction of the schedule, yet accounts for 33.5% of total WNBA attendance.
Initially, I thought that these might not perform well, but just wait until I show you the stock numbers on these. Not only that, but apparently her jersey is in high demand too after she publicly defended Angel Reese. I didn't think that this colorway was going to do too well at first, but pre-sale is saying otherwise. These are currently pre-selling for over $300 and the retail is only $190. They drop on June 30th and the total stock on Nike US is just 13,000 pairs. For comparison, the Kobe 5 eggplant had just 30,000 pairs on Nike.
The ripple effect is undeniable. The 2024 NCAA Women's Championship drew 18.9 million viewers per million, more than the men's final. Caitlyn's playoff game shattered records, with ESPN's game pulling into 0.5 million viewers, the highest rated WNBA cable game ever. And it's not just her, she's lifting the entire league. Games after hers get a ratings bump, players see merch boosts. She's the rising tide that's lifting every boat.
Her highest viewed so far on NBA TV, 624,000 folks. We're talking 3 times the amount. We are talking 2 times the amount on a random channel called NBA TV. What's it going to take for these other games' viewership to start?
So let's call it what it is. Nike finally stopped fumbling and leaned into a player who moves markets, sells out arenas, and resets expectations. The real scandal isn't that they gave her a Kobe commercial, it's that it took this long. While the haters whine, Nike's cashing in, and Caitlyn, she's still doing what she always does, raising the bar. She's not just the future, she's the present, and the culture is finally catching up.
Is it about Caitlin Clark? She's got it. She's got swagger. She's got, if you will, balls. She's tough, she's shrewd, she's not a good passer, she's all-time great. And she makes logo threes, and she makes them beautifully. She jump shoots the way Steph does from the logo, where she's not feet on the floor pushing set shots. She goes up, holds it, and flicks the wrist, and has incredibly underrated strength. She's just got all-time it factor. She's doing things on a nightly basis where you sit back and say, oh, she's selling them out like crazy. That's Jordan-esque. So in impact, she's already having Michael Jordan impact.
The fact that only 12 women in WNBA history have had signature sneakers compared to 20 to current NBA players says everything. But Caitlyn's shoe changes that. It's symbolic. It's historic. Nike won't make back the $28 million in pure sales, and they know it. This is about staking their claim in her legacy, and they're all in. The signature drop is coming. The critics will keep chirping, but the scoreboard doesn't lie. When Caitlyn steps on a court, numbers explode. When Nike finally markets her right, money flows. And here at Courtside Legends, we'll keep telling the truth while they try to catch up.